In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, where stars twinkled like distant memories and planets spun tales of ancient civilizations, a peculiar event was unfolding. The inhabitants of the planet Zog, a race known as the Glintari, had long been admired for their shimmering, scale-like skin that reflected the cosmos in a dazzling array of colors. Yet, despite their ethereal beauty, the Glintari had always envied one peculiar trait of the humans from the distant planet Earth: hair. For centuries, the Glintari had gazed upon the humans' flowing locks with a mixture of awe and longing. Hair, in all its forms, curly, straight, braided, or wild, was a symbol of individuality, a canvas for expression, and a testament to the chaotic beauty of life itself. The Glintari, with their smooth, reflective surfaces, yearned for such a symbol. To them, hair was more than just keratin strands. It was freedom incarnate. It was the year 3047 when the breakthrough occurred. Dr. Alara Voss, a brilliant xenobiologist from Earth, had dedicated her life to bridging the biological gaps between species. Her research had led her to the Glintari, a species whose biology defied many earthly principles. And with a team of the finest minds from across the galaxy, she embarked on a mission to gift them with the one thing they desired most. The project was named Operation Follicle, though among her peers it was often referred to as Alara's Folly. It was an endeavor that combined cutting-edge genetic engineering with interstellar diplomacy. The challenge lay not just in creating hair, but in ensuring that it could thrive on Glintari physiology without disrupting their delicate biochemistry. After all, their reflective scales were not merely decorative. They served as solar receptors and communication tools. Months turned into years as Alara and her team synthesized a unique protein compound, one capable of integrating seamlessly with Glintari cells. It was painstaking work. Every strand of simulated hair had to be tested for durability under Zog's harsh ultraviolet rays and its erratic magnetic storms. The protein itself had to be engineered to harmonize with their luminous scales without dimming their natural glow. Finally, after countless trials and setbacks, the day arrived. The Glintari ambassador, a dignified being named Limar, volunteered to be the first recipient of humanity's gift. As Limar stood in the sterile glow of the laboratory's bioluminescent walls, anticipation hung thick in the air. Alara activated the protein injector with trembling hands. At first, nothing happened. Then, slowly but unmistakably, fine strands began to emerge from Limar's scalp. They shimmered like threads spun from starlight, an iridescent cascade that caught and refracted every color in the room. A cheer erupted among the scientists and Glintari observers alike. Limar reached up tentatively to touch their new hair and let out a sound that could only be described as pure joy. It was more than a scientific triumph. It was a cultural watershed moment. For the first time in recorded history, humanity had altered not just biology, but identity on an interstellar scale. The Glintari hailed Alara as a visionary, and Operation Follicle became a symbol of unity between two vastly different species. But as with all great achievements, this one came with unforeseen consequences. Within weeks of Limar's transformation, hair fever swept through Glintari society like wildfire. Every citizen wanted their own unique style, some opting for flowing manes reminiscent of Earth's ancient kings and queens, others experimenting with gravity-defying spikes or intricate braids that wove through their scales like living art. Barbershops sprang up overnight on Zog's capital cityscape. Some even imported human stylists who became overnight celebrities. Yet not everyone embraced this change. Traditionalists argued that hair disrupted their natural harmony with Zog's environment. They feared it would diminish their connection to their ancestral roots and upset their delicate ecosystem. Protests broke out in major cities as factions formed. Those who celebrated hair as an expression of individuality versus those who saw it as an affront to their identity. Meanwhile, Alara faced another challenge she hadn't anticipated: sabotage. Deep within Zog's political elite lurked individuals who viewed humanity's influence as dangerous meddling. They saw Operation Follicle not as an act of goodwill, but as an insidious attempt to reshape Glintari culture in humanity's image. When reports surfaced of rogue scientists tampering with Alara's protein formula, causing uncontrollable hair growth or bizarre mutations. The fragile alliance between Earth and Zog began to strain. Despite these challenges, Elara refused to give up. She believed in the power of cooperation and creativity to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. As she worked tirelessly to refine her formula and quell societal unrest on Zog, she knew one thing for certain. Humanity's legacy would not be defined by conquest or exploitation, but by its ability to create, to inspire wonder even among the stars. And so began humanity's strangest chapter in intergalactic diplomacy. The follicle frontier had become humanity's greatest success story. What began as a simple act of goodwill toward the Glintari had spiraled into an intergalactic phenomenon. Within decades, humanity had earned an unexpected title: the kings and queens of hair. No other species in the galaxy could match their mastery of follicular artistry. Barbershops and salons bearing Earth's insignia popped up like constellations across nearby galaxies, each one a beacon of human ingenuity and style. On planets where hair was once non-existent, it now flourished in unimaginable forms. The Glintari had been only the beginning. The insectoid Crictions, whose exoskeletons once gleamed under the twin suns of their homeworld, now sported vibrant crests of bioluminescent strands that pulsed to the rhythm of their pheromonal communication. The aquatic Meridians, whose gelatinous bodies were once devoid of adornment, now swam through their underwater cities with flowing tendrils that shimmered like seaweed caught in moonlight. Even the stoic Varnax, a race of crystalline beings who had long dismissed hair as frivolous, eventually gave in to the trend, adorning themselves with delicate strands that refracted light into dazzling rainbows. Human barbers and stylists became cultural icons. Names like the Scissor King of Sirius or Madame Main of Betelgeuse were whispered with reverence across star systems. Entire fleets of mobile salons, spaceships retrofitted into luxurious hair studios, traveled from planet to planet, offering their services to anyone willing to pay for the privilege of human expertise. These cosmocoiffeurs, as they were called, became symbols of status and sophistication. To have your hair styled by a human was to declare yourself a citizen of the galaxy's cultural elite. But as humanity's reputation grew, so too did its influence and its enemies. The Zixter Dominion, a shadowy conglomerate of species that prided themselves on their utilitarian philosophy, viewed humanity's rise with disdain. To them, hair was a distraction from efficiency and order. They saw the spread of human barbershops as a form of cultural imperialism, an insidious attempt to undermine their austere way of life. When reports surfaced that some Zixter citizens had secretly begun growing hair and visiting underground salons, the Dominion declared war, not just on humanity, but on hair itself. Their first act was to unleash a bioweapon known as follicle bane. This insidious virus targeted the protein compounds used in Operation Follicle, causing hair to fall out en masse across entire populations. On Zog, where hair had become an integral part of Glintari identity, the effects were catastrophic. Citizens woke up to find their iridescent locks disintegrating into ash-like particles. Panic spread as salons closed their doors and riots broke out in the streets. Humanity responded swiftly. Earth's brightest minds gathered once more to combat this new threat. Dr. Elara Voss, now hailed as a hero across dozens of star systems, came out of retirement to lead the effort. Working alongside her team in a state-of-the-art lab orbiting Jupiter's largest moon, she developed an antidote, Cariflux. This serum not only neutralized follicle bane, but also enhanced hair growth tenfold. When Cariflux was distributed across affected worlds, it sparked what historians would later call the Great Hair Renaissance. Hair returned stronger and more vibrant than ever before. On Zog, Glintari citizens celebrated by hosting elaborate parades where their newly regrown locks were styled into towering sculptures that told stories of resilience and unity. On Earth and beyond, humanity's reputation soared even higher. But the Zixter Dominion was not finished. In a desperate bid to regain control, they launched an armada toward Earth itself, a fleet bristling with weapons designed to eradicate every trace of human influence from the galaxy. Their flagship broadcasted a chilling message: surrender your salons and your scissors, or face annihilation. Humanity's response was swift and defiant. The United Terran Alliance mobilized its forces, not just soldiers but stylists, barbers, and engineers who had grown up in this new era where hair was more than vanity. It was identity. The battle for Earth became known as the War of Strands. Space stations were converted into defensive outposts equipped with high-powered lasers disguised as giant combs and scissors. Human ships deployed drones armed with modified Caraflux sprayers that coated enemy vessels in adhesive strands of synthetic hair, rendering them immobile. On the front lines stood Captain Jackson Blade Reyes, a former barber turned military strategist, who led his fleet with unmatched precision. His flagship bore the motto "Style above all" emblazoned on its hull. With every victory against the Zixter forces, humanity proved that their creativity and adaptability were unmatched. The final battle took place near Proxima Centauri's binary star system. As Zixter ships closed in on Earth's last line of defense, Captain Reyes unveiled his ultimate weapon, the main cannon. This experimental device fired concentrated beams of Caraflux-infused plasma that not only disabled enemy ships, but caused them to sprout uncontrollable masses of glowing hair-like tendrils. Defeated and humiliated, the Zixter Dominion retreated into obscurity. Their once pristine fleets now drifted aimlessly through space, monuments to humanity's ingenuity and unyielding spirit. In the aftermath of the war, humanity solidified its place as not just masters of hair, but as cultural leaders in a galaxy that had learned to embrace individuality and expression. The phrase, "cut by a human," became synonymous with excellence across countless worlds. And so it was that humanity, armed not with weapons but with scissors and creativity, carved its legacy among the stars, one strand at a time. Humanity's rise as the galactic authority on hair and beauty was nothing short of astonishing. What began as a cultural exchange with the Glintari had evolved into a full-scale movement. Advanced civilizations from every corner of the cosmos now clamored to learn from Earth's finest stylists, eager to master the art of hairdressing and open beauty salons tailored to their unique anatomies. The demand was insatiable, and humanity was ready to deliver. Earth had become the epicenter of interstellar beauty education. The Galactic Academy of Hair and Aesthetics, headquartered in a glittering orbital station above Earth, was established to meet this unprecedented need. The Academy offered courses in everything from basic cutting techniques to advanced styling for alien physiologies. Students arrived in droves, feathered avianthians, gelatinous meridians, even crystalline varnaxians, all eager to learn how to wield scissors, combs, and curlers with human precision. The Academy's curriculum was legendary. Courses like gravity-defying styles for low-G planets and bioluminescent hair care for deep space species became instant classics. Students learned not only the technical skills, but also the cultural significance of hair in human history, from ancient Assyrian curls to punk rock mohawks. Humanity's mastery of hair was not just about aesthetics. It was about identity, expression, and connection. For many alien civilizations, this was transformative. The avianthians, whose feathers had always been seen as immutable, began experimenting with vibrant dyes and intricate braiding patterns inspired by Earth's tribal traditions. The Meridians discovered that their gelatinous tendrils could be styled into mesmerizing shapes that reflected their emotions, a breakthrough that revolutionized their art and communication. Even the stoic Varnaxians embraced subtle crystal etching techniques taught by human stylists, turning their rigid forms into dazzling works of art. But it wasn't just about hair. Humanity's salons became hubs of culture and community across the galaxy. Inspired by Earth's history of barbershops as third places for social interaction, these salons offered more than just styling. They became sanctuaries where beings from all walks of life could gather, share stories, and forge connections. On planets like Zog and beyond, salons were credited with fostering unity among diverse species. To meet the growing demand for skilled stylists, humanity launched an ambitious outreach program. Mobile training ships, floating academies equipped with state-of-the-art salons, traveled from system to system, bringing education to even the most remote corners of the galaxy. These ships were staffed by Earth's best stylists and teachers, who worked tirelessly to train a new generation of interstellar beauticians. One such ship, the Sheer Voyager, became famous for its work on the fringes of explored space. Its crew trained entire colonies in hairstyling techniques while also introducing them to human concepts of self-care and confidence. For many civilizations, this was their first real interaction with humanity, and it left an indelible impression. Of course, success on this scale came with challenges. Managing salons across multiple galaxies required meticulous organization. Humanity developed advanced salon management systems that streamlined operations while maintaining brand consistency. Standard operating procedures were codified into holographic guides accessible across all locations, ensuring that every salon upheld Earth's high standards. Meanwhile, back on Earth, elite beauty schools continued pushing the boundaries of what was possible. New techniques were constantly being developed. Adaptive tools for species with unconventional anatomies, like tentacles or exoskeletons. Advanced dyes that changed color based on mood. Even zero-gravity styling methods for spacefaring clients. The Galactic Academy also hosted annual competitions where stylists showcased their creativity and skill. These events became cultural phenomena broadcast across star systems, drawing billions of viewers who marveled at the artistry on display. The competitions weren't just about winning. They were about celebrating diversity and innovation in a way that united the galaxy. Yet not everyone embraced humanity's influence so readily. In some sectors of the galaxy, resistance movements emerged against what they saw as cultural homogenization. Critics argued that humanity's dominance in hairdressing threatened local traditions and identities. On certain planets, underground salons sprang up, offering authentic styles free from human influence. These tensions occasionally flared into conflict, but were often resolved through dialogue and collaboration, values humanity championed throughout its rise. Despite these challenges, humanity's reputation only grew stronger. By sharing their knowledge freely and fostering creativity across species lines, humans earned respect, not just as stylists, but as leaders in cultural diplomacy. As humanity continued its journey among the stars, one thing became clear. Their legacy would not be defined by conquest or technology, but by something far more profound: the ability to inspire others to see beauty in themselves and each other. And so it was that humans became more than just masters of hair. They became architects of connection in a galaxy yearning for unity, one strand at a time. The first hair implant in a bald alien had been a turning point, a seemingly simple act that rippled outward to reshape the galaxy. What began as a gift to the Glintari had grown into something far greater, an empire of influence built not on weapons or conquest, but on creativity, culture, and connection. Humanity had become the most dominant species in the galaxy, not through force, but through inspiration. With every strand of hair implanted, every beauty salon opened, and every alien taught the art of self-expression, humanity's reputation soared. The other species looked to Earth not just as a planet of innovators, but as a beacon of possibility. They admired humanity's ability to transform something as mundane as hair into a symbol of identity, individuality, and unity. And they wanted to be like us. Trade boomed as alien civilizations sought more than just hairstyling expertise. Humanity's cultural exports became the most sought-after commodities in the galaxy. Music, fashion, art, cuisine. Earth's creativity knew no bounds. Alien worlds that once dismissed Earth as an insignificant backwater now clamored for human goods and services. Galactic marketplaces were flooded with Earth-inspired products. Holographic hair tutorials, zero-gravity curling irons, mood-sensitive dyes, and even interstellar fashion lines designed to complement newly styled hair. The economic impact was staggering. Earth's economy flourished beyond imagination. Entire industries sprang up to meet the demand for human expertise and products. Spaceports bustled with trade ships carrying everything from advanced salon equipment to crates of Earth-grown lavender for alien shampoos. Human corporations expanded across the stars, opening headquarters on distant planets and employing billions of beings from countless species. But it wasn't just about commerce. It was about influence. Humanity's values began to permeate galactic society. The ideals of self-expression, individuality, and creativity spread like wildfire. Species that had once lived under rigid hierarchies or collectivist systems began to embrace personal freedom and diversity. Hair became more than just an aesthetic choice. It became a statement, a way for beings across the galaxy to declare who they were. Humanity didn't stop at hairstyling or beauty salons. With their newfound wealth and influence, humans began teaching other species about entrepreneurship, education, and governance. The Galactic Academy of Hair and Aesthetics expanded its curriculum to include courses on business management, cultural diplomacy, and even philosophy. Alien students came not just to learn how to style hair, but how to think like humans, how to innovate, adapt, and thrive. Entire civilizations transformed under humanity's guidance. The Glintari, once envious of human hair, became one of the galaxy's most fashion-forward species, their iridescent locks setting trends that rippled across star systems. The insectoid Crictians developed an entire subculture around bioluminescent hairstyles that pulsed in sync with their music, a genre inspired by Earth's electronic dance scene. Even the austere Zixter Dominion eventually softened its stance on hair after seeing how it revitalized their own citizens' morale. Humanity's dominance wasn't just economic or cultural, it was psychological. Other species saw humans as aspirational figures, beings who had turned their weaknesses into strengths and their quirks into assets. The phrase, "to be human," became synonymous with striving for excellence and embracing individuality. But with great power came great responsibility. Leaders on Earth recognized that their influence could easily tip into exploitation if left unchecked. To ensure fairness and equality among the galaxy's species, humanity spearheaded the creation of the Interstellar Council of Cultural Exchange. This organization worked to preserve local traditions while fostering collaboration between civilizations. Humans took great care not to overshadow other cultures, but instead helped them flourish in their own unique ways. Still, humanity's rise wasn't without its detractors. Some alien factions accused humans of cultural imperialism, arguing that their influence was erasing traditional practices across the galaxy. Others resented humanity's rapid ascent and sought ways to undermine it. A coalition known as the Purists emerged, an alliance of species determined to resist human influence at all costs. They launched propaganda campaigns warning against humanization and even attempted sabotage by spreading counterfeit beauty products designed to fail spectacularly. But humanity's response was characteristically diplomatic and creative. Rather than retaliate with force or aggression, humans doubled down on collaboration and outreach. They invited purist leaders to Earth to witness firsthand how humanity celebrated diversity rather than homogenizing it. They showcased Earth's own history of cultural exchange, the way jazz had been born from African rhythms meeting European instruments, or how global cuisines had blended into new flavors over centuries. Slowly but surely, even many purists came around. As humanity continued its meteoric rise, Earth itself transformed into a galactic capital, a shining jewel where beings from every corner of the cosmos came to learn, trade, and connect. Cities like New York and Tokyo became melting pots, not just for humans, but for aliens seeking inspiration and opportunity. Entire districts were dedicated to interstellar salons and fashion houses where stylists catered to clients with anatomies as varied as the stars themselves. By 3100 AD, humanity stood at the pinnacle of galactic civilization, not because they were stronger or smarter than other species, but because they understood something fundamental: the power of creativity and connection. And so it was that humanity prospered far beyond all others, not through conquest or domination, but by teaching the galaxy what it meant to dream, one haircut at a time. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, reflecting back at humanity a truth they had always known deep down. Beauty wasn't just skin deep. It was woven into the very fabric of existence itself. And no one understood that better than humans. By the year 3500, hair, once dismissed as a trivial aspect of beauty, had become the cornerstone of humanity's dominance in the universe. What began with the first hair implant for a bald Glintari had evolved into a revolution that reshaped not only aesthetics but also economics, diplomacy, and even philosophy. Humanity was no longer just one of many intelligent species in the galaxy. It had become the center of it all. The development of advanced hair techniques had unlocked possibilities far beyond beauty. Hair technology became a universal tool for creativity, innovation, and even survival. Humanity's mastery over follicular science allowed them to engineer hair that could adapt to any environment. Strands that absorbed radiation for species living near pulsars, fibers that emitted light for those dwelling in dark nebulae, and even hair that could act as sensory extensions, granting heightened perception to its wearer. These innovations cemented humanity's reputation as the galaxy's most ingenious and adaptable species. As Earth became the cultural and technological hub of the universe, every advanced civilization sought to learn from humanity. The Galactic Academy of Hair and Aesthetics expanded into a network of institutions spanning entire star systems. Students from every corner of the cosmos traveled to these academies to master not only hairstyling, but also the deeper human philosophies tied to individuality and self-expression. Beauty salons became more than places for grooming. They were centers of cultural exchange and innovation. On planets like Zog, salons hosted interspecies forums where beings discussed art, philosophy, and science while having their bioluminescent locks styled into gravity-defying sculptures. Humanity's salons were so revered that they became neutral zones during intergalactic conflicts, where even sworn enemies could sit side by side in peace. The economic impact was staggering. Hair-related trade accounted for nearly 40% of galactic commerce. Human-designed tools, like adaptive combs that worked on gelatinous or crystalline hair, were among the most valuable exports. Entire industries emerged around human hair care products. Shampoos infused with nanobots that repaired damaged follicles, dyes that shifted colors based on mood or environment, and styling gels capable of defying planetary gravity. But humanity's influence went far beyond commerce. The other species began to admire not just human creativity, but also their way of thinking. To humans, hair was never just about appearance. It was about identity, freedom, and reinvention. This philosophy resonated deeply across the galaxy. Civilizations that had once adhered to rigid social hierarchies began embracing individuality. The Avianthians, whose feathers had always been uniform within their flocks, started experimenting with vibrant color patterns inspired by human punk culture. The crystalline Varnaxians adopted intricate etching techniques taught by human stylists, turning their rigid forms into dazzling displays of personal expression. Even the Zixter Dominion, once humanity's fiercest critic, eventually succumbed to the allure of hair culture. Their leaders realized that allowing their citizens to embrace human-inspired styles improved morale and productivity. What began as resistance turned into admiration as Zixter society transformed under humanity's influence. Humanity's advancements in hair technology reached unimaginable heights. Scientists developed biosentient hair, capable of responding to its wearer's emotions and even storing memories within its strands. This breakthrough revolutionized communication for species without spoken languages or traditional senses. Hair also became a medium for art on an interstellar scale. Entire planets commissioned human stylists to design landscapes shaped like flowing locks or braided rivers visible from orbit. Galactic leaders competed to host the Interstellar Hair Expo, an event showcasing the latest innovations in follicular artistry. But perhaps the most profound development was the follicular network. Using nanotechnology and quantum entanglement, humans created a system where strands of engineered hair acted as conduits for instantaneous communication across light years. This network replaced traditional methods of interstellar messaging and further solidified humanity's role at the center of galactic civilization. By this point, humanity was no longer just admired, it was emulated. Alien species sought not only human hairstyling techniques, but also their values: creativity, adaptability, and unity through diversity. Entire civilizations restructured their societies around these principles. Earth itself transformed into a utopia fueled by its galactic influence. Cities floated above oceans shimmering with bioluminescent algae cultivated for alien hair products. Spaceports buzzed with visitors from every corner of the universe, each one eager to experience humanity's legendary hospitality and leave with a hairstyle that told their story. The United Galactic Council, once dominated by older civilizations like the Elthari and Crictians, now looked to humanity for leadership. Humans were elected as mediators in disputes between species, their salons often doubling as neutral meeting grounds where conflicts dissolved over shared experiences and mutual admiration. In time, humanity's influence extended beyond even what they could have imagined. The galaxy itself began to reflect human ideals, vibrant, diverse, and endlessly creative. What had started as a quest to give an alien species hair had evolved into something far greater, a unifying force that brought countless civilizations together. As Dr. Alara Voss, the visionary behind the first Glintari implant, reflected on her legacy from her home on Earth's orbiting Dyson sphere, she smiled at how far her people had come. Hair, she said in an address broadcast across galaxies, is more than strands of protein or symbols of beauty. It is proof that even the smallest things can change the universe. And so it was that humanity ascended, not through conquest or domination, but through creativity and connection, becoming not just a species among many but the heart of an interconnected galaxy. The stars themselves seemed brighter now, reflecting back at humanity a simple truth. When you weave beauty with purpose and art with meaning, you create something eternal, one strand at a time.